Alright, so I don't know how long this video is going to end up being. It could end up being a very long video, but before that, I just want to say, consider leaving a like, comment, and subscribe for more Grand Cross content if you did enjoy the video. Also, be sure to join Discord. We'd love to have you. But yeah, so this video is basically going to be a top 10 red units video of 2020 for Grand Cross. This isn't like some type of tier list. It's literally just me picking out 10 red units that I personally enjoyed this year in Grand Cross. I know the year's not over, but we won't have too many units coming out before New Year's, and I'm pretty certain there's not gonna be any more reds, and if there are, it'll probably be Red Fat King. I could be wrong, but yeah. So this is just gonna be a list of my personal top 10 units, and yes, I am ranking them from 10 to 1. They will be ranked from, like, I don't want to say least favorite, but like, obviously number 10 will be the least the least used character that I play, etc, etc. So yeah, let's go ahead and let's get it started. You guys know already on the screen, Redhauser is actually really good. I do enjoy using him in Demon Hallex whenever I decide to switch up the team a bit. Mono Red, he has gotten a certain type of stigma towards him, but honestly, he's not a bad character. He's just using a very toxic team that is Mono Red, right? But he is a really good support character, especially because his support skill buffs allies by 20% or 30% depending on the rank. He also grants debuff immunity at rank 3. You guys already know that though. He's really good, but he has amazing synergy with Red Escanor. Red Escanor is a phenomenal unit as well. So Arthur, just in, conjunction with him, is very good. Arthur also has the skill 1, which disables recovery skills, which actually is a really good skill. I used to think it was bad, but now it really is a good skill, especially nowadays with Blue King running around. So disabling recovery skills is really good, and his ultimate obviously hits hard, right? With having Sever 2 times increase, we'll eventually get the buff that JP got, where it becomes a 3 times increase. But yeah, so really good. And then his passive is just increasing human allies HP related stats by 15%, which can also be good and can be run on a sub. So very good. I don't want to make this video too long, so I'm gonna go ahead and go on to the next unit. But yes, Arthur is number 10 on my list, and he's really good. So if you got him, build him up. He's really good. But yeah, let's go ahead and let's get to the 9th unit. Alright, so coming in at number 9, we have Redhauser. Redhauser, yes, in my opinion, I do enjoy him more than Redhauser. Is he better than him? I don't know. Depending on the team you run, he can be very useful, especially in Pierce comp, right? But Pierce comp is really cucked nowadays, so I'm not sure if he's as useful as he once was. Probably not, but he's still really good, especially since his first card is obviously a Pierce card, which does amazing damage and immense damage if you put him in the right comp with the right equipment, etc. He can be a very reliable unit. I also used him at the start of the game's life, on global at least, right, for ungeared. So very good unit. His second skill isn't that great, but it is a Sever card, which means his crit chance is going to be increased by 2 times. Again, not the craziest, but I mean, it can come in clutch sometimes. And then his ultimate is an AoE, which decreases skill ranks and then depletes ultimate move gauge depending on how many skill ranks were depleted, right? So that's really good, obviously. It is passive. If you do put him with Arthur, it actually synergizes well with Arthur's passive because he increases human allies' basic stats by 8%. Now, that's not the biggest increase, but it's still an increase nonetheless. 8%. I honestly think he is a little bit more fun than Redhauser, especially since Redhauser does rely on merges and rank ups with his buff card. So that's why I'm putting Hauser at number 9. He's not too far ahead of Arthur, but he is ahead of him nonetheless, right? So yeah, he's at number 9. Let's go ahead and let's get to the 8th unit. So the 8th unit is Red Skinny King. Now you might be wondering, why is Red Skinny King here? Red Skinny King, in my opinion, is not more fun, but he is more usable than the other two because of his passive, right? Again, this is all opinionated. Redhauser can be more useful than Red Fury King in some areas, and then Hauser could also be more useful than both of them in some areas, but nonetheless, King is really, really good on the sub. He's also really good with his skills. A lot of people don't give him enough credit for his skills, but I think his skills are actually really good. He has an AoE explosion skill, right? He has an AoE disables recovery skill as well, so very, very good there. His explode card does damage depending on how many turns and how much damage you dealt as well. So very, very good. I don't think enough people give him credit for how good he actually is. Let's say you have a, you don't have a farming team or whatever. You can use him as a pseudo farming unit. You actually could. He may not do enough, like immense damage or enough damage to kill off some enemies, but he can still be pretty useful, I think, especially since he has an AoE disable recovery skill. I think that's really good as well. Even if you don't run him on sub, I might do a video on how good he is without being run on a sub. But yes, obviously he is ran to counter Pierce teams. That's why he's really, really good. His ultimate is the same as Blue King's, so no difference. It has a shatter and it does great, great damage. To be honest, it doesn't hit as hard as Blue Fairy King's, but I think that's because Blue King has a passive that increases his basic stats. It could be that, but I found that his ultimate actually doesn't hit as hard as Blue King's, so that's kind of weird. Could just be me, right? Or I don't know, maybe it just doesn't hit as hard. I don't know. I just find myself not, killing enemies with his ultimate for some strange reason. And then obviously his passive reduces all enemies' current pierce rate by half in PvP. So very, very good. Also, these kings, I believe they have really high HP. Let me see. I think so. Yeah, 58k. That's without costumes as well. They have really high CC. So again, Red King is above Hauser and Arthur. Again, minuscule on the scale of where he's at above them, but nonetheless, I do think he is above Hauser and Arthur, in my opinion. These are just my favorite top 10s. Again, I'm going to keep saying that these are my favorite top 10s, and to me, this is why King is number 8. So, there you go. Let's go ahead and get to the 7th red unit. Alright, so I know a lot of people are going to be like, what? Right? Yes, Red Arthur is my 7th favorite red unit of this year. Okay, so hear me out. He's very, very amazing. He's an amazing unit, top tier red unit, obviously. However, I find myself not using him because of a certain unit that exists, and we'll get into it, right? But he is very good. He does have an Amplify card, and that's why the mono red team is very, very strong. However, without him being on the mono red team, he is underwhelming. I'm not gonna lie. The only buff that he gets is from his passive, and that's only one buff. So it's not really anything to write home about. Again, I do like how they gave him a buff, so that way he could self-proc amplify, but it is only for 3 turns, so keep that in mind. It ain't nothing crazy. Still a very useful card, just needs a lot, like he just needs someone to buff him, which is why Arthur exists. I mean, there's other units as well, but Arthur is pretty much his main support character, because Arthur gives 3 buffs, potentially 4 if you get rank 3, but yeah, that's why he synergizes so well with Arthur. You guys already know that though. And then his charge and fire is really good. It's an AoE alt rollback skill. Really, really good. That's annoying when you fight him, which is why personally I think he towers up. Like the other 3 that we went over, they were like, minuscule to each other. Like you could put and for me, I could put maybe Arthur above Hauser, but yeah, no, he towers over them because he's just very, very offensive, and I like that about him. He also rolls back ults, which is annoying, and then his ultimate hits very, very hard. And then his passive increases his HP related stats by 50% at the start of turn for 3 turns. So very, very good. Like, it's actually really crazy, that passive, because that means he's going to have a lot of survivability. You already see his HP. This is without costumes. You see his lifesteal 2%. You see his recovery, or not his lifesteal, his recovery rate. You see his regeneration. It's really good. Right, it's a really good passive, so that's why he's at number 7 for me. Again, you could change it, right? You could change it to whatever you want, but that's why he's at number 7. So let's go ahead and get into the 6th unit on the list. You guys know I had to put the girl, right? Derriere at number 6. I just had to. She's very, very good. A lot of you might be saying, just number 6. Yeah, she is number 6 for me. Nowadays, she has a lot of counters to her, with more blues being prominent, Goddess Elizabeth. And then we have just a couple of units that could potentially one-shot her. You know, we got King, who can petrify her if she doesn't get off her evasion, which can literally stop her from getting her her passive to go off. We have just a lot of units that could cuck her nowadays with removing buffs and stuff like that. So it is unfortunate. She has fallen off the, at first I'll put her at S tier. I think she's still S tier. I think you could put her in A tier if you really made a compelling argument. But yeah, for me, she's number 6 because honestly, she's really fun to use in a Demon Halix raid. She's really fun to use. You can still use her on PvP. I've used her a couple of times on PvP. She's really, really good there. As long as she can consistently get cards, she stays good, right? If she literally stops using cards for a turn, it's unfortunate, but then she's just straight garbage because you have to reset her buffs, which I like. I like that they kept the combo star. I like how they kept the combo star relevant to the anime and the manga, right? But it's like, okay, so now I have to consistently hit with her to get her passive to go off, which is okay, but it's like, if I'm frozen or if I'm stunned potentially, or if they just completely attack seal me, I can't do anything. So yeah, that is the unfortunate part about her, but she does insane damage. Not only is her multiplier one of the highest multipliers in the game, she also again has a buff card which increases her basic stats and then gives her evasion on rank 2 and 3. It's just craziness. And then her ultimate is an amplified ultimate. This is going to hit much, much harder than Escanor because it's on an ult. So keep that in mind. Also, she self-amplifies herself with her passive, again, combat power. They might as well have just named this passive Combo Star, to be honest with you. I know her ultimate is called Combo Star, but they literally should have just named her passive Combo Star, because if you do not use a skill with her for one turn, all the buffs that she gets from this passive go away. That's the only thing that really hurts her. Plus, her commandment isn't that great. It could be useful, but it isn't really that great. So again, she's very, very fun. I think she is above Escanor, in my personal opinion. That's why I put her as number 6. She's just a very fun unit overall to use. And I really like Derriere. So yeah, that's why she's number 6. But let's go ahead and let's get to the 5th unit. Alright, so the 5th unit on the list is Redhauser. Now, again, a lot of people are going to say, why is Galeur number 5 and not like number 2 or 1? Well, Galeur has somewhat, not really, been replaced by Green Galeur. It's just certain areas Green Galeur is better than the red version, because Green Galeur's passive increases the attack stats of all allies as long as they are 3 different races on the field. And he also rolls back ults, which can be very, very useful. I do find that Redhauser's skill 1 is still a little better than Green Galeur's dissolve card, but I do believe Galeur is, Redhauser is still prominent. I think he is still one of the best units in the game. Not only does he attack disable, which is one of the most annoying things about this card, he also increases the skill ranks just like Green Galeur does. So that's why Redhauser is still very prominent. So you can still use him. If you don't have the green version, he is very good as well. Don't let people be like, oh, Redhauser is shit, or Redhauser is garbage, or he's not that great. He's still a fantastic unit. Again, one of the best units in the game. He's just not as supportive as the green version, and that's where the green version triumphs. They have the same skill 2. They have the same ultimate. The only difference is that Redhauser's passive works with attack, and he cannot be hurt. If he is damaged in any type of way, his passive resets. That is the unfortunate thing about Redhauser. But if you have, let's say, him get patience-ing attacks or something like that, right? Which isn't likely to happen, although he does have one of the highest patience in the game. It isn't likely to happen. So yeah, that's where he falls short of the green one. But again, still very useful. Can be used in all types of content, basically. Still one of the best units in the game. He's easily number 5. There is no replacing him at this spot. But I did put him at number 5 because I myself, I use him, but it's really only for mainly PvE content. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I really only use him for PvE content. PvP, I will use him if I have a team and I feel like the attack disable is better. But most of the time, I am running red. I am running green Galeur. So yeah, he also does have a slight advantage over the green Galeur, where he is a coin shop unit. However, that's also very bad because Super Awakening came out. So again, just a slight edge over the green Galeur. Green Galeur is a seasonal unit and also exclusive. So that's where red Galeur is just like you can buy him from the coin shop, but no one really recommends that. I don't anymore. But if you're new to the game, maybe. But if you're a veteran player, obviously not. Or even like just an experienced player, obviously not. But yeah, number 5 for him. And then let's go ahead and get to the number 4 spot. All right, so you guys probably are just like, well, we knew this was going to happen. Keo. Keo is number 4 on the list. I do not care. Keo is one of the most fun units in the game. I'm sorry. Keo is just so damn good. It's really, really crazy. Not only is his skill 1 a cold destruction card, not only is his skill 2 an AoE blaze card, but his passive literally combines with all of his kit. It is the craziest thing. So he applies 2 ignites at the start of his turn, right? At the start of your turn, he'll apply 2 ignites on the enemy, which is very good considering, you know, he has a cold destruction card, which increases the damage dealt per debuff. And then he also has a blaze card, which literally increases the damage per ignite. So there you go, right there. He's really, really good. Like, it's actually insanity. And then he also reduces damage by 5% per each ignite effect on an enemy. This is the weird part about his passive, because it doesn't really feel like you're getting damage reduced, but it is. It's weird how it's calculated. I don't really feel like getting into all of that right now, but it's very, very good. And then his ultimate is a single target attack and applies 2 ignite effects on all enemies. So it is a single target effect or attack, but it applies ignites on all enemies, which is kind of strange, but it works for him. So easily number 4. Obviously, you guys know he's a very, very fun unit. He is number 4. He did not make it into the top 3, unfortunately. Keo's still very, very good. But nowadays, I wouldn't even say nowadays. I would say for right now in the current meta, I don't use him because Goddess Elizabeth's shield is very, very annoying. But you can still use him on very good teams. Like the Monspeed Burst team was a really fun team with him. You can run him with Zeldris. You know, he can be run on a lot of different teams, basically. So, yeah, number 4. Now, let's go ahead and get to our final top 3 units on this top 10 list. All right, so to no one's surprise, Lost Fae Meliodas, yes, he is the 3rd unit on my 10 best red, you know, whatever list you want to call it. 10 best, I guess we can call it my personal top 10 red unit list, right? But yeah, he is number 3 on that list. Again, this isn't like, I'm not trying to start anything. This is just me, you know, saying these are my personal top 10 red units. So he's number 3 for me. He's a very fun unit. I know, right? Fun? He can't be fun. He's cancer. He's toxic. He can't be, he is fun. He's a very fun unit. I know it's annoying to face him, and I know it's annoying with his ultimate, but he is still a very fun unit in my opinion. You can run him in not all areas of PvE, but in some areas you could run him in PvE. He's very good. His skill 1 increases his ult gauge. His skill 2 is an AoE charge attack, which ignores defense. His ultimate is literally like broken, inflict secret technique damage. So any card of his that you have in your hand increases his damage by, you know, depending on what alt level you have, right? So it could be 20, 28, 36, 8, 44, 52, or 60%, which is very good. And then he literally ignores type advantage and type disadvantage. It's crazy. It's literally insanity. And then his passive, you already know, increases the ranks of all his skills when he takes a critical hit. So very good. I don't even think I need to explain anymore. Just a very good unit. Let's go ahead and get into number 2. So number 2 is Zeldris. Zeldris is a very fun unit. Zeldris has a alt depletion card, which is a very good card. It just does so many hits, which can be a little bit of a hindrance when you're facing a lost vein. But it's fine. It's fine. It's a very, very good move. And then he also has a disable recovery skill card, which is amazing because then you can use this on Blue King or anyone who heals. Very, very good. And his ultimate is a spike ultimate, which increases the crit damage by 2 times. So very good. The only thing is his commandment, or his commandment. If you disable recovery skills, they can just literally move a card and take it off of them. But it's also kind of screwing them over because then they won't get their ult. So it's weird. His passive, pretty good. It works on the sub. Increases basic stats by 6% for each ally or enemy possessing the commandment. So very good. Very good. I don't even think I have to say anymore. He's just a very fun unit. Number 2 for me. But yes, let's go ahead. Let's get to the number 1. I think you guys already know who number 1 is. I think you guys already know. Yes. So if you did just skip to this part, because I am gonna probably put timestamps in the description. If you just skip to this part, you already know why Sario, the god, is number 1. Sario is Sario is one of the best units in the game. Like, not even joking. He is literally one of the best units in the game. I know he's not on global. I know. But he is still my favorite. Literally number 1, my favorite red unit in the game that came out this year. I don't even know what they're gonna do for reds anymore, but honestly, for right now, it doesn't matter to me because Red Sario literally takes the cake over any red unit in the game for me. He is insane. He has a card which does sever. If you didn't watch the videos, it's crazy. It's insanity. So much better than Redhauser's. He has a card, a new effect, Power Strike, which does additional damage based on the enemy's resistance. So if they have high resistance, they're basically screwed and they can't do anything about it. He has his ultimate, which is another sever card, which is basically going to one-shot any enemy. He has a passive, which increases the basic stats of Goddess allies by 20% of his own basic stats. And then he also has a Grace, which if a critical strike occurs when the hero uses a skill, ignores 50% of the enemy's critical defense. Crazy. So literally, if they're just sitting at 50% crit defense, they're so screwed. Amazing unit. I can't wait till he comes out. I'm literally going to give up everything to summon for this unit. I love Sario, one of my favorite characters in the series. But yes, he's number 1. No one's taking it. He is literally on the pedestal. If I held up if there was an image, right, of me holding something up, the pyramid, the pyramid of tiers, he would be at literally God tier because he's just so good. I love it. I love him so much. But yeah, enough of me a fanboying about Sario. The video's over. The video's over. If you did enjoy, remember to leave a like, comment, and subscribe for more Grandcast content. But yes, guys, with that said, I will see you all in the next video.